Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Arratikast. Today, we're going to be talking about a little indie movie y'all might have heard of called Avengers: Infinity War.
What is that?
It's a film, I believe, by a superhero company that they put out superhero movies. I think they did the Superman movie.
Oh, this. Well, no, I don't think they did Superman. This is Disney, right?
No, actually, it's DreamWorks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is a DreamWorks movie. The same creators who did Shark Tale, Shrek 4. They didn't do the first one, or the third, or the second, but they did 4. And yeah, we're here to talk about that today. This masterpiece of cinema that we've been blessed with.
And the people in Shrek 4 actually did Avengers: Infinity War.
The people in Shrek 4, point for point, did Avengers: Infinity War.
Really? Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, quality cinema right there. So.
Yes.
That alone would have gotten me to have my ass in the theater seat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there, well, not on day one because I had to work, but day 2 or 3, I think it was. But either way, we went to go see it immediately, and we're here to talk about that. So what do you... First off, let's go ahead and talk about the lead up to Infinity War, because let's be honest, it's been, 10 plus years in the making.
All right. Now, jokes aside, but seriously, though, I remember a time where the first Iron Man came out, and this was a good summer, mind you. Iron Man came out, then The Dark Knight came out.
Yeah.
And it was pretty awesome.
It was a good summer for superheroes.
Yeah, to have a summer where you just have two good movies just come out, and one of them was serious, one of them was not so serious, but they worked for what they were. And it wasn't until someone pointed out to me, it's like, hey, you need to stick around to the end credits of Iron Man, and which is weird to me because some movies have done it before where they would have end credit scenes.
Yeah, but it was very few and far between.
Yeah.
Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off was like the most recent one that I can think of that did that, which that came out in 80 something.
Oh, another one was Rocket Man. I don't know if you ever seen that one.
Well, yeah, we used to watch it all the time. We used to have seen that one with that one guy and he goes to Mars and there's a monkey and he farts in the suit.
Yeah.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. That's also a Disney
I can believe it.
And at the end of those end credits, they have the American flag that they put on Mars. An alien actually takes it.
Oh,
and
walks away. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was kind of goofy, but whatever. And then someone said, "Hey, there's actually one of those at the end of Iron Man," and I was like, "Fuck, what are you talking about?" And then I stuck around, right? And then Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, was like, "Hey, have you heard of the Avengers? We're gonna try and recreate that." And then people lost their minds, mind you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know who the Avengers are, but why should I care?
Yeah.
Like, is this even a real thing? And I doubted Marvel at the time, even though I read the comics, because I was like, that's too good to be true. Actually, this is ridiculous.
They're gonna have to do a lot of world building.
Yeah. And sure enough, 4 years later, when they had a Hulk movie, another Iron Man movie, a Thor movie, a Captain America movie, and then comes out with the Avengers, I was like, you know what? Now I'm interested to see what Marvel does, because they just shattered box office records.
Oh yeah, I think currently, if I remember correctly, the current box office for the first Avengers movie was like 1 point something billion dollars or something like that. Like now it is not opening weekend. That's just insane.
Yeah.
But just earning that much money for a single movie while it's in theaters was incredible.
Yeah, exactly. For it to even cross the $1 billion mark was just incredible.
A movie.
Yeah.
Just a movie. That's it.
Yeah.
God.
And I remember being made fun of liking these movies. Growing up in like high school, because this came out when I was in high school still.
Yeah.
From Iron Man all the way up to the Avengers. And I remember watching it and people were like, dude, you're such a nerd. Like there's no way these movies will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, just wait, just give them time. After, the Avengers came out, I was like, just give them time. All right. And I remember like this was like, I was about to graduate senior year. And I hear all the popular kids talking about, oh, how cool the Avengers were, guys. Did you go see that movie? I thought it was going to be, I shit you not, this one girl said it. One of the stupid popular girls. She was like, I thought this movie was going to be for boys. But it turns out it's for everyone. And I was just like, I rolled my eyes.
Finally, a movie for me.
Yeah. And that's when I knew that like Marvel was onto something. They're onto something amazing. And then just like how Marvel did with the you know, the all the end credits and stuff.
Yeah.
They did the same thing in the Avengers. Once
where they all got shawarma.
Yeah, they all got shawarma, which was actually pretty funny. But not only that, they showed this purple guy with the chin.
Yeah, that's right. The wrinkly chin bastard. And you're like, that's the guy I never play in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Exactly.
That's Thanos.
That's Thanos. And people were losing their minds. They're like, they're going to bring in Thanos?
Because all the story that comes along with him, they're like, oh, shit's going to go down.
Yeah. And then, you know, that's when Marvel started to like become serious. Like, hey, we're eventually going to introduce Thanos.
Yeah.
And I'd say about 12, 13 movies later, and now we're here.
We're here.
All this build up in all these other movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Age of Ultron.
Yep.
And another Guardians movie where they talk about Thanos. You're hearing all this Thanos stuff. The Thanos this. He's coming. He's coming soon.
Yes.
Now.
Here we are.
Thanos is here.
Purple Shrek is in the building.
And he's ready to fuck shit up. And does he fuck shit up?
Nah, not really. I would say he comes in, gives them a nice slap on the wrist and says, hey guys, you need to knock off this hero nonsense. I'm trying to save the galaxy here. And they say, okay, we'll stop. And the rest of the movie is just them eating shawarma.
Oh, but actually, you know what? I prefer that than what we got in Infinity War.
Yeah, because honestly, Infinity War, you know, if I had to give it a score, I'd give it like a 3 out of 10. You know, it was
positive rating.
I found myself boring or bored. The movie itself was inherently boring. There was no character building. There was no world building. They all just introduced the characters, and there was no backstory, and I didn't like it because there was no character arcs. I didn't know who these characters were, and I needed to watch the other movies first. Is that how it? Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, and I don't know if you people have seen any of the reviews, but there's people out there who don't like the movie because they just decided to walk into Infinity War by not watching the other movies first, which is strange.
It's strange, but it's like kind of like we said before. This sort of thing has never been done before.
Yeah,
like there's been extended universes in movies before. I think we talked about it like earlier this week. Like what other property had that?
Universal did it with their monster movies. Like they're kind of toying with it. But
no, but I mean like before Marvel did it.
That's what I'm saying. Universal did it with their monster movies, and they're toying around with it. And they're like, oh, we can have Frankenstein meet up with the Wolfman.
That's true.
And they've had that in the past, but it was never consistent. That was the thing, and nobody wanted to see it.
It was sort of like a Freddy versus Jason sort of thing. It's like, wouldn't it be, or like Alien versus Predator? Wouldn't it be cool if? And then it's just a movie, maybe two.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's it. Whereas this, like each movie in the sequence, sort of built that world and set you up for the next movie. I've heard a lot of people say that Marvel movies have always been just sort of like a setup for the next one. It's just a setup for the next one. Oh, Thor, Dark World. It's just a setup for the next one. Winter Soldier. It's just a setup for the next one. Ragnarok. Setup for the next one.
As much as I'm not a fan of Guardians 2, I'll argue that it was very much its own movie.
Yeah.
Like the way it ended, that was very much its own movie. It just has Rocket crying in the fireworks, and that's how it ends. Now take away all the end credit scenes.
Yeah,
that's how the
where
movie...
they kind of hint at Adam Warlock a little bit.
Yeah, which of course it's a setup. It's a given. It's Marvel at this point. Yeah, they're 19 movies deep.
Yeah, they're like, let's keep this train rolling. We're doing good. And like, you know what? Say what you will about like any Marvel movie, like any Marvel blockbuster movie. It's just a CGI shit fest. It's a cookie cutter or whatever.
Yeah,
but they're entertaining. They don't have to be
entertaining.
They don't have to be masterpieces of cinema with deep, meanings or, expertly shot cinematography. It's a fun movie. You go to the movie and you just, it's not like Transformers where it's just shit. It's like this stuff is decently funny, decently animated, decently acted.
Yeah.
And the storylines are also decent. It's very, at its worst, it's very middle of the road, and that's okay.
Yeah, and it's gotten to a point where all these characters have become so iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Like Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. You can't see anybody else playing Iron Man.
Yeah.
You can't see anybody else playing Thor besides Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Or Chris Evans as Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
besides Human Torch and other shitty movies that he's done. But like he's dug himself out. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I would even argue Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. I can't see anybody else playing Star-Lord.
Yeah,
like that's his thing.
It's sort of like how Ryan Reynolds is. He's Deadpool now.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like they cast it so perfectly, and these guys do such a good job of portraying their character. They kind of add their own personality to this character that has been around since before they were born. Yeah, you know, these Marvel characters have been around since the 50s.
Yeah,
or 40s or something like that.
Yeah, the 40s, like Captain America with like, you know, World War II.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those, like, they've been around for longer than these characters, you know, the characters have been around longer than these people have been alive, but they add their own little spin to it. You know, I remember watching reruns of that old Hulk show or the old Thor show.
The Lou Ferrigno one?
Yeah, the Lou Ferrigno one.
They actually combined that Thor with the Hulk, the Lou Ferrigno Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so they kind of like dabble with that, but it's like it's already a thing. Yeah. You know, like the Avengers have already been a thing at that point, so they're kind of like, oh, let's try it, see how it sort of works. But it was all cheesy and kind of campy and whatever. It was more comic booky. Yeah. Whereas this one, it's entertaining. It's a lot more accessible to everybody. I think.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it very, like you said, very accessible to like mainstream audiences because they know these characters. They know who they are. Like Black Panther just came out this year and it's already become iconic.
And honestly, like before Black Panther came out, I mean, I knew of Black Panther. I knew he was a superhero. Yeah. But other than that, I was like, who the fuck is Black Panther? What does he do?
And the movie actually establishes pretty well on who this guy is, what his moral code is, what he's really about. And the movie does a great job at like telling you who T'Challa is, not just Black Panther.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a man behind the mask.
Exactly.
And that's what Marvel does so well with these superheroes. They explore their characters, not just their suits.
You're right. They make you care about this particular person.
Yeah, and that's what all these other movie studios who are trying to conjure up their own universes, they just don't understand. They're not watching Marvel do their thing.
Yeah, they just see, oh, hey, this is working. Let's try this formula. Yeah, but it's like it doesn't work with everything. Or
if you don't care about these characters.
Yeah, it's like if I don't give a shit about Tom Cruise and the Mummy and Russell Crowe and as Van Helsing or whatever the fuck he was in the Mummy movie. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Who cares?
And no one really asked for it either. Yeah, it's just like
but then again, who really asked for a Marvel movie? Nobody. Yeah, superheroes were kind of on the decline. I mean, that's why Disney bought Marvel to begin with, is because they were on the decline.
Yeah. I think that was probably the best move that Marvel could have done, honestly, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, Stan Lee's raking in that money now. You know, he has money to pay off those nurses to be quiet after he touches their butts or whatever. No. I
don't want to believe that.
I know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't want to go one way or the other, but man, it's sad if it's true. Yeah. But we're getting off topic here. Stan Lee.
But we're talking about Avengers.
We're talking about the Avengers.
We're talking about Avengers Infinity War. All this buildup, who Thanos is. Now we finally get to see a movie where it's just focusing on this purple Shrek dude and this idea that he gets a gauntlet that can change existence itself, while the Avengers have to go and everything that they have fought for is leading up to this.
Exactly.
To show that no, they're not ready at all.
Because think about it, like all of these other villains that have been in Marvel movies, they all in one way, shape, or form were influenced by a single Infinity Stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like a single one. You know, you look at Guardians, that one fucking blue blackface guy. You know, he just wanted the Power Stone to wipe out the planet. Yeah. And that was just one stone. Yeah. You look at the Thor universe where they have the Tesseract or whatever. Yeah. That creates portals or some shit. Yeah. It controls space and time. No, space. I'm sorry. Time was the Doctor Strange one. But all of these villains that they had such a hard time beating or besting, all were just using one Infinity Stone. And then this guy comes along and says, hey, motherfuckers, I got a glove
that controls all of them.
That can control all of them, and I'm going to get them from you.
Yeah, and it's terrifying in a sense because, you know, the Avengers know what the Infinity Stones are. Yeah. But they aren't aware on what the power can really do. Like, maybe just one, but all of them together, they're just like, we don't even want to know.
But think of it this, you know, this just dawned on me. So how I mentioned that all of the previous villains were influenced by an Infinity Stone. Yeah. So they were all their own separate stories, more or less. Guardians were dealing with the Guardians of the Galaxy were dealing with their own thing. Yeah. Thor was dealing with his own thing. Iron Man was dealing with his own thing. Captain America his own thing, blah 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 blah.
But somehow, some way, they managed to fit in like the Infinity Stones in there.
Right.
Even in the Captain America with the Vision, he has an Infinity Stone. He was using it against.
He is an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Like he's the embodiment of an Infinity Stone. But what I'm getting at is that they all know more or less what an Infinity Stone is and what an Infinity Stone can do. So this guy who comes in brings them all together. They all know what a single one can do, and they're like, "Oh shit, this guy comes along and he has multiple Infinity Stones."
Yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, like even in like the beginning of the movie when
mind you, this little disclaimer first.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to talk about Avengers
heavy
Infinity
spoilers.
War. Heavy spoilers.
So we're gonna give you a couple seconds to gather yourself.
Yeah, we made our introduction.
We made our introduction. We're about 15 minutes in. I think that if maybe we should have like a timestamp later on where we stop talking about spoilers and we can add that in later on screen.
It's fine.
Note to editor. But whatever. Point is,
I think everybody's seen the movie at the.
Who hasn't?
They're making so many memes right now.
Who hasn't? Yeah, that's a good point. So all right, heavy spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Beginning of the movie. Hulk gets transported from the ship and crash lands in Doctor Strange's temple.
Well, no. First off, like how Thor Ragnarok ended. It's Asgard gets destroyed, and he gets the remaining civilians there that
and they're
Hela already killed.
Yeah, and they're just refugees and trying to get away.
And then a huge shit pops up. And you're like, oh shit, it's Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Only for Avengers Infinity War showed, it was Thanos, and he killed everybody.
Yeah, he killed everybody on the ship, including everyone's favorite trickster,
Loki.
My boy Loki.
And Heimdall. And Idris Elba.
and Idris Elba, but he was just sort of, he was there.
Yeah, well, once they showed him getting killed, I'm like, wow, this dude's been around since the beginning, too.
Yeah, that's true, because Thor was like the second Marvel movie, I think?
The fourth one. No.
No, you're right. It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's the fourth one.
Yeah. So
it was the fourth Marvel movie.
And he was always a character in there talking about guarding the fucking road and everything.
Yeah.
So
when I saw him get killed, I'm like, that kind of sucks. But it wasn't until Loki got just choked out, and it freaked me out because I was just like,
they're legitimately killing off characters. But it was so early in the movie. I feel like they did that to establish who
Thanos is,
right? And like the sense of, okay, this is some serious shit. Like, we're not fucking around. We just killed off a main character that everybody loves. There's fan art of Loki. There's a weird role plays of Loki that people do online. It's weird.
There's weird gay porn with Thor and Loki.
Exactly. But it's there. People love Loki, and they killed him off immediately.
Yeah, and in the theater, I hear people yelling, no, and people were crying. In my theater.
Because think about it. This Marvel franchise has been around for almost like a decade.
Yeah.
More than a decade. Like some of the movies, whatever. But
Loki has been around since 2011, and seeing him die in 2018 was just, it's kind of crazy.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't go into these movies expecting to see your character that you've more or less grown up with, that you've known for a long time, die.
Just getting killed. Just like that.
Like, okay, prime example of this. Spoilers for the last Harry Potter movie, The Deathly Hallows, the part 2.
Everybody's seen that movie.
I know. But who knows? Maybe someone who lives under a rock hasn't seen it. When they killed off one of the Weasley brothers, I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, the twin. It was just like he died on screen, huh?
Sort of. They kind of like insinuated that he died.
I think dead body, and then
they showed his dead body after the fact. But I'm saying though, I think one of the Dark Wizards was like about to cast a spell, and he was like, and then it kind of cuts to another scene.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my god, they fucking killed him! Holy shit!
Yeah, the Fred, I think.
I don't know, Fred or George, who knows?
Yeah,
one of those. But it was just like, when you see a character that you've spent so much time invested in watching movies of theirs, and they die off, it's like almost. I know it sounds cheesy, but someone that died. Because it's like, you've known this character for so long. It's like someone just died.
Like I kind of felt sick to my stomach when Thanos grabbed the hold of Loki's neck and he just slowly starts like crushing him.
And let me just add, they did a really good job on the eye makeup. He looked like he was being choked out.
Yeah, they did a really, and then just for Thanos to just choke him out in front of his brother and just lay his dead body right in front of him.
Yep.
And you're just like, fuck, this dude is a horrible person.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah. And then he's just like, oh yeah, So I got this other Infinity Stone now. Now I have 2. So Peace Thor blows up his ship, and then Thor's just drifting off into space. While you mentioned that before Heimdall gets killed, the Hulk actually gets transported back to Earth.
Oh, right. Yeah, so then we're back on that. So Hulk gets transported back to Earth and crash lands in Doctor Strange's office.
Yeah.
So that, it ties in Doctor Strange now.
Yep.
So, okay, great. Now he's in on it.
Yeah.
Which, getting back to the spaceship scene in a little bit, that brings in the Guardians, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So Bruce Banner, he turns back into Bruce, and he's like, oh man,
Thanos is coming.
Thanos is coming,
That's
and
the first
he has
thing
two.
says.
Yeah, and he has 2 Infinity Stones. He's already the most powerful being in the galaxy right now.
Yeah,
with only 2 Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Then title card. Dun dun dun, Infinity War. Dun 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 dun. And then. Oh, you're singing Star Wars, right?
Actually, it's Indiana Jones.
Ah, okay.
And the Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
In the Kingdom of Crystal Skull. That's a great movie.
No, it's a masterpiece. But
okay. Anyway, after title card,
right. So
cut back to Tony Stark.
Right, Tony Stank, and he's talking with Pepper Potts, everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, she's been around since the very beginning.
Which okay.
Yeah.
So then he gets dragged into the whole Hulk and Doctor Strange thing. But while the refugee ship in the beginning was getting attacked, they were sending out a distress signal.
Well, let's slow down a bit.
Okay.
Because we're getting a little ahead of the movie, because what happens is Doctor Strange just appears out of nowhere, and then he's like, "Hey Tony, I need you to come with me." And then Tony's just like, "Who the hell are you?" And then that's when Bruce comes up, and he's like, "No, you need to listen to him."
Hey Tony.
Yeah, and at this point, the last time that Iron Man has seen the Hulk was in Age of Ultron, before he took off. So it's been a good 3 years.
It's been a while.
And that's enough for him to just go, okay, I'm willing to listen, whatever. And then that's when, who was the other wizard dude that was with Doctor
his
Strange.
right hand guy.
Yeah, his I forgot his name, but he was explaining the Infinity Stones and stuff. It's like, yeah, if all of them are contained in this one little glove, then it's like some really it's not good. It's just bad stuff. And then the Hulk tells Tony, he's just like, yeah, remember Loki, the attack on New York? The guy who sent him, that's Thanos, and he's coming now. And then they're just like, fuck, what do we? And just from there, that's when another attack happens, right?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And then that's when the Squidward dude and the other Hulk copycat,
they come down and try to take the time stone from Doctor Strange,
and then introduces Spider-Man, and he gets caught up in this whole fight, because he's like, oh shit, I need help out.
Which shout out to my boy Stan Lee. He was the bus driver.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen the preview where he's his arm hair stands up and he's like, oh shit, looks out the window in the spaceship.
Yeah.
And then he tells his fat friend to make a distraction for him. He does. He hops out the window, and Stan Lee, the bus driver, says, "Why, you kids never seen a spaceship before?" I'm like,
I love you, Stan Lee.
Ah, man, Stan Lee.
Thank you for getting us where we are today.
Seriously.
But so then it's this battle, right? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I have to commend the visual effects team for making everything look the way that it does in the movie. It looks amazing.
It looked great.
It looked incredible. This is a $300 million movie, and it shows.
Oh yeah.
Heavily, mind you. Is one of the best things about Marvel movies is their visual effects. Some of them work, some of them don't.
Yeah.
I know all the Guardians movies looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers movies, they look, except I really don't like Age of Ultron.
Yeah, who did?
Yeah, I can't really defend it. But Infinity War, though, like I said, this is a movie with all these heroes coming together, and for it to look the way it does was, I would say, an event.
I have a feeling that the special effects are going to hold up for a while. You watch old CGI movies, you watch the old Jumanji or something, the monkeys, they look like shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, it looks bad.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, getting back to the movie, I guess, and then enter the Guardians, who heard this distress call.
Yeah.
So it kind of cuts to space, I think, at that point. After the Battle of New York.
Well, Doctor Strange gets taken.
Oh, yeah. He gets abducted.
And then Tony Stark
with
and
the time stone around his neck.
yeah, then Tony Stark and Spider-Man, they get caught up in the ship with Squidward.
Right, exactly, and they're following him, following him back to Titan.
Yeah,
which was Thanos' home planet. So then it kind of cuts to space, and Peter Quill and the crew are jamming out some sweet 70s classics as usual.
Which was a great introduction.
Right, because it was like, hey, remember these guys? Remember the soundtrack that we had? And they're like, yeah, I do. Actually, that was great. And just the way it was shot, it was like, hey, this reminds me of the old, the first Guardians. Hey.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly. Everyone was like, yeah. Like, as soon as you hear the music, you're like, oh, yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So as soon as it cuts to space, I was like, yep, Guardians.
It's Guardians. And then they're jamming, having a good time. They heard that distress signal. We're going to go help these people. But if they don't pay us, we're going to take their ship. So, like, they kind of established that, like,
yeah, they're still joking.
We're good guys, but
we're not really good guys.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're technically criminals.
Yeah, they're still. I'll argue that they're kind of like anti-heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not all bad, but they're not all good either.
Yeah,
they're sort of like in the middle.
Yeah, which makes them a little bit more interesting
than just like we're going to be good all the time. But anyway, so they get to the ship, everyone's fucked up.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Except for
Thor, he slams on their windshield.
Slams on the windshield. They bring him aboard, and they're making some pretty sexual harassment-y comments about Chris Hemsworth's godlike body.
Oh yeah, I was extremely offended by the sexual harassment that
they're giving this potentially dead body.
Yeah,
but honestly, that whole scene was kind of funny.
It actually was. This isn't a dude. You're a dude. This is a man. All right, I'm gonna get a Bowflex.
A muscular, godly man.
I'm going to commit. Say you're one sandwich fat. You're one sandwich away from being fat. Quill.
That's right.
He's like, fine, I'll just get dumbbells. I'm pretty sure you can't eat dumbbells. Quill. Which is it's a very quick joke, but if you listen to it very carefully, it's great.
Oh yeah,
that's most of the jokes here in this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would argue that's just Guardians jokes. It's very quick, very witty.
Yeah,
Drax being dry as shit.
Yeah, and God, Drax. I love Dave Bautista as Drax. Like he is by far the funniest character in Marvel right now.
Yeah,
I think he is. We'll get to a joke in a second.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the Guardians are introduced. Then Thor's brought onto the ship, and then Thor's like, "Oh shit, this is Thanos." And
yeah,
he's finally coming.
Yeah, he explains what's going on.
Yeah, Gamora was like, "Yeah, if he gets all 6 Infinity Stones, all he can do is snap his fingers, and then he can wipe out existence. It's gone.
Yeah,
and we can't let that happen." And Thor's like, okay, well, I guess I need to go get a new hammer. So who wants to come with me? And then Rocket's just like, oh, I'll go because of this place that you're telling me. It's all legend, but I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, and then of course Groot comes along.
Yeah, Groot comes because they're like Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
They're tied by the hip. Like
yeah, exactly.
So I get it. So then there goes Thor. He's gone, and then now the Guardians are by themselves, and it shows like a little flashback scene actually of Gamora.
Yeah, and
which kind of adds to her character and Thanos.
Yeah,
which it shows him committing mass genocide against her people when she was a little girl, and then Thanos is just like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna show you this knife," but kind of like pull her aside to not show that her family's gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah,
and it's just like, hey, do you see this little knife? If you go one way or another and then out to another, it becomes imbalanced. This is what I want. I want it to be balanced. And while that's happening, everyone's just getting shot and killed.
It was good exposition because there was actually stuff going on in the background, and it was like it was kind of establishing him as a character to say like he's a bad guy, but his intentions in his own eyes are just like they're like he knows that they're bad.
Yeah,
but it's like this is for the greater good.
Yeah, and that's what kind of makes villains so interesting is or the good villains actually.
Yeah,
the stuff that they commit in this in movies is like they believe that what they're doing is for the greater good.
Right.
But whereas someone else, like the hero standpoint, they're like, no, you can't do that because
that's evil.
That's super bad. But then a villain being a villain, they'll just be like, well, I don't really give a shit because I believe so heavily in this ideology that you guys aren't gonna stop me.
Yeah.
And he believes in that, and it's crazy.
Well, yeah, because he brings it up later on about Gamora's planet that he massacred. He says, yeah, I killed half the population, but all the children born after that point never known hunger, never known poverty. Everyone there is living perfectly because there's not a lot of people to soak up all the resources. There's enough resources to go around, is what he's saying.
Yeah. And that's his whole deal. So then, you know, the flashback scene ends. Her people, it show like her people die, and then Thanos takes her under his wing. And that's when Gamora tells Star-Lord, like, hey, if there ever comes an opportunity and I tell you, you better kill me. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Star-Lord's kind of like serious joking in a sense. He's like, oh, you like, you know, I like to kill you, but, you know, then that's when she was serious. She's like, swear on your mother. Yeah. And that's when it got like really serious.
Yeah, because, you know, it's been established. Yeah. Character building in the previous movies that his mother means a lot to him.
Exactly. Yeah. That his mother... Like the whole it was established at the end of the first Guardians that he saw his mom when all that stuff was, when he grabbed the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, exactly.
He saw his mom, and even when the Kurt Russell says, "Oh yeah, I killed your mom,"
he immediately shot him in the face.
Yeah, without hesitation. Just went ballistic. Yeah. On his dad. Mm-hmm. And his mom means a lot to him. For Gamora to be like, I need you to swear on your mother to me that you will kill me if I say so. Yeah. That's kind of, it kind of puts the audience in like a oh shit moment.
Yeah, like, okay, this could possibly go real south real quick. Yeah. Because it was one of those things where, because she gives a reason for it. She says, I know something that Thanos doesn't, which they hint at, which they show later. It's, what is it, the Soul Stone.
Yeah, the Soul Stone.
You know, she knows how to retrieve it. She knows where it is, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, I'm the only one who knows. If I ask you to shoot me and kill me, that knowledge dies with me, and you'll never get the Soul Stone. Yep.
And which is reasonable, and you get it. Like, it puts the hero in a predicament, and so does the villain, because if the heroes do something to themselves, then the villain won't be able to accomplish something. Mm-hmm. But before that happens, right? The Guardians are like, okay, where's an Infinity Stone that we know? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna go to the planet in the first one called Nowhere. That's where the Collector is. Yes, and he has an Infinity Stone. Yeah. So we need to get that right away. Yeah. So they arrive there, and they see that Thanos has already got to the Collector. They're like, oh shit. So we need to ambush this guy. Yeah. Before that happens, Drax kind of gets a little crazy, and then that's when Mantis like puts him to sleep, makes a loud thudding noise, and all the Guardians are like, "Oh shit, we need to come up with the strategy." Gamora, go right. She doesn't go right.
She goes left.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Fuck," and then that's when Gamora just drops in and just starts fighting Thanos for a little bit, gets him in the neck.
Oh yeah, so like you think like, oh okay, well she killed him.
Yeah, even Peter Quill's like, oh, that was quick.
Yeah, exactly.
that was easy.
Yeah, because it's like you see, you know, Thanos like he got stabbed in the throat and he dies.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty cool that they added the scene where Gamora just breaks down crying, because that was just like,
that was her only parental figure that she'd had like a majority of her life.
Yeah, and she basically killed her dad. Yeah, in a sense, and while that's happening, it shows like Thanos' dead body with the sword in his neck, and he's just like, oh yeah, just kidding, zoink, here, I already got the Reality Stone, which is the red one, the one that you're looking for.
Yeah, and everything that you saw was just a hallucination, or like a hologram or some shit.
And then it just whooshes, or like it does a whole camera pan around like Gamora, and while it's like red
like wave or something like that,
wave of special effects just goes by, and the place is burning.
Yeah, so it's like when they got there, it looked like the Collector was just his normal self. But so basically Thanos got there, he destroyed everyone. I'm assuming killed the Collector.
Yeah, because once they showed the Collector and then he vanishes, and you're like, oh shit,
yeah, he's dead.
He's probably dead.
Exactly. So it's just like, it was just, you know, it was a goof because of the Reality Stone. And he's like, yeah, I goofed you. Yeah. I'm you know, thanks for crying.
Yeah, thanks for showing that you actually care. So that's pretty cool.
Thanks.
And then that's when Drax is like, starts yelling, it's like, Thanos, you're gonna pay for my wife and daughter. And he's like, okay, well, zoink, and then turns him into blocks.
Yeah.
and at first I saw that, I was like, no.
Right. I thought he died.
I thought Drax died right then and there.
Yeah, and then he turns Mantis into like ribbons or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god.
Like he like just looked at him and they turned into stuff, and I was just like, oh man.
I was like, is this what the Avengers are gonna fight? That's horrible. That was what was going through my mind. It was scaring me.
Yeah.
And Star-Lord's just like, let her go, Grimace.
Yeah, he called him Grimace. That was pretty funny.
And then that's when Thanos was like, oh, the boyfriend, how cute. And then he's like,
kind of toying with him.
Yeah, he's toying with them.
Yeah, and then he has Gamora at that point. He has her like in his arms or whatever. And then Gamora looks at Peter and says,
"Kill me.
Remember your promise?
Yeah, you promised. You swore on your mother." And then and then that's when Star-Lord kind of breaks down a little bit because he's just like, I told you to go right.
Yeah.
Told her that like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then Gamora's like, I love you more than anything, and then I love you too, which was pretty cool.
That was because like
which is very good because everyone talks trash on Gamora. I don't know why. I think she's a really good character.
No, she's a flawed character.
Yeah.
But then again, so is Peter Quill. But they work well together. But they don't like. There's always that insinuated romance between them when in all of the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
But they never really explicitly say like, yes, I love you.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you. This was that moment where they validated that and said, I love you. I know.
Well, the way that Gamora works is like all her life she was just resorted to hostility. Just the way that Thanos trained her and stuff, that she really knew nothing of love and stuff. And it took her 2 movies, and by the end of it, she's willing to try. And within Guardians, and the way that the time frame works between those 2 movies is like Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, they take place within a month span.
Yeah.
So it still takes place in 2014 in Guardians 2. So fast forward to 4 years, so they've already established their relationship very well.
Yeah.
So I got that right then there. So at this point, the Guardians have been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
And in Earth time, I don't know how it works with the whole.
I don't know either. They never establish it. But
yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's something that doesn't matter. Like there's bigger things going on than worrying about the
way time works in space.
Exactly. So that's when Star-Lord's about to kill Gamora.
So he pulls the trigger.
Yeah.
And out comes Bubbles. So instead of bullets, it's Bubbles. And so basically it was Thanos using the Reality Stone like he did with the collector's room and all that.
And it's brilliant because you didn't really think to yourself that's like, oh, that's the Reality Stone. I mean, he does mention this like after he gets a stone, he's like, I can have reality be whatever I want. But it wasn't going through your head. It's like, oh, he's using the Reality Stone. It's fine. Until that's when the gun turns into a bubble gun.
Yeah. And then I like you.
I like this guy. And then see ya.
Yep. See ya. And then bounces because he has the space stone, which allows him to travel between one point and another.
Exactly. So then here comes Drax and Mantis. They get repaired. And
so right. So like I think it established at that point, once the Reality Stone leaves that area, its effects wear off as well. I've heard a lot of people talk about, oh, well, he wants to extinct the galaxy because resources and stuff. Why doesn't he just make new resources? And it's like, well, once he leaves that area, those resources go back to normal.
Yeah, but you need all of them to actually like play that entire plan out.
Right.
It actually it comes into full effect. And I get it, whatever. So then Guardians they essentially lose. Gamora gets taken. Rocket and Groot they're off with Thor on his quest. And Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis they're in a spot where they're just like, fuck, what do we do now? So here comes now it goes back to Doctor Strange, or actually no.
It goes back to Tony Stark and Spider-Man when they're on the ship.
Yeah, where Doctor Strange is at.
Yeah,
and which comes into like my problems with the movie.
All right,
and once Tony Stark finds that Spider-Man is on the ship with them, and he's just
he told him to go home.
Yeah, he told him, it's like, hey, come on, like, what are you doing? And then he's just like, all right, fine. Since you're here, do you have a plan to take this dude out? And he's like, have you seen this really old movie, Aliens? And then they do the whole
blow a hole in the ship and then suck him out into space.
Yeah. And that's where my problem is. Like, once it doesn't just happen with that dude. It eventually happens with the other Thanos' children too. It's like they kind of killed them off too easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't really. I think out of all of them, the Squidward dude actually did the most.
Yeah, he actually he knocked out Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He whooped the shit out of Tony Stark and Spider-Man and Bruce Banner, but he just kind of took a side seat.
Yeah, and yeah, like he had a hard time with Doctor Strange, but like Doctor Strange is a little too OP.
Yeah,
but and it just showed that like, dude, this guy is gonna be the one that's gonna be, you know, the most threatening out of the children.
Yeah, because all of them were just sort of like, oh, they were really buff or they were really fast, but this guy like could telekinetically like control shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
only for him to just get sucked into space.
The airlock. But I think that would be the only way they would be able to kill him though.
Yeah,
because he was whooping their ass before.
Yeah,
so just take him by surprise and throw him out the airlock.
So then now it gets to they save Doctor Strange and they're like, okay, well, where do we go now, because we're in like the middle of space, we're probably light years away from Earth, so where do we go? So they just go to the coordinates that the ship is going to, which is Titan, and then eventually that's where they meet Star-Lord, Mantis, and Drax. So that's when they team up on Titan.
Right, because they're also looking for Thanos to try to get Gamora back.
Yeah, exactly. But cut to the Vision now, because now he's always had an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Kind of shows that Scarlet Witch and him, they kind of had a life together after Civil War, and they spent 2 years in Scotland. Okay, good for you. And then that's when what's her name? Proxima Midnight, that one alien chick.
Yeah, with the spear.
Yeah, the spear. I don't think it was. No, it was the other dude. But Proxima Midnight comes in and fights Scarlet Witch, but the other dude stabs the Vision. It's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
they got him.
They got him. He's fucking dead. And so they have this huge fight with the Vision, Scarlet Witch, and then those two Thanos children. But it wasn't stopped until Captain America and the Avengers show up, which was an awesome intro.
It was just a shadow behind the train.
Yep.
Like, who the fuck is that? And the girl throws a spear at him, and he just dodges it and catches it.
Yep.
And it was just like, oh, look at me. It's
your boy, Chris Evans.
It's your boy, Chris Evans, with the beard now.
I fucking love the beard.
I know, it looked good on him.
It looks so cool. Plus with the long slick back hair. I was like, oh man, this dude is cool.
Exactly. Like he's been away for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but so introduce the Hawk. Is that the guy's name?
Falcon.
The Falcon.
Yeah, Hawkeye is.
That's right. That's right. Well, he isn't in it.
Yeah.
But introduce
Black Widow
and Captain America and the Falcon.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, Thanos is after us. He's after the Infinity Stone. But, the Infinity Stone is the Vision. How do we disconnect it from him? I think I might know a place.
And then they show fucking Black Panther.
Yep. And it was just like, we're going to Wakanda, bitches.
Yep. And they show Wakanda, but not only that, that's how they introduce the Winter Soldier. And then T'Challa's like, well, we know that a fight's coming towards us, so we're going to bring the White Wolf out of...
Of course, it's the White Wolf.
Yeah. Which I think is clever.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome.
I thought it was funny.
I think it's awesome.
Which again, they hinted at the end of Black Panther, because guess who wakes up from his little nappy nap?
Yep.
Yeah, it's me, it's Buck.
It's
Bucky.
Me. So they had to put him in carbonite to what I assume to get all that extra, because you have to say a couple words for him to really just turn evil.
Yeah.
So I think they may have taken that out of him.
I think that's what he was in Wakanda for, was to recover from that.
Yeah. And so they give him a new arm because Iron Man blew his arm off in Civil War.
And it was Wakandan tech, so it's badass.
So it was pretty freaking cool, even though he doesn't use it in the whole movie, which was kind of a waste.
I'm sure they're going to have something with it in the deleted scenes. I'm waiting for it when it comes out on Blu-ray, but I don't know. We'll see.
So all this is leading up, right? All the stuff on Earth. So they're trying to protect... That's the main Avengers mission in this movie on Earth, is protect the Vision at all costs.
Exactly, because he's the last Infinity Stone that's on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. So
that Thanos and his kids are after.
Yeah. and Bruce Banner meets up with the Avengers too, and he's like, yeah, he explains to them who Thanos is. It's like if he has, all these Infinity Stones, then he's able to wipe out his existence itself. And that's when Captain America and everybody else, they join forces with Black Panther to get that little stone out of Vision's head, so he can still be Vision,
but not have the Infinity Stone in his head, and they can try to destroy it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that way Thanos can't get a hold of it.
Exactly.
So then, enter Lupita Nyong'o, or whatever her character's name is in the movie.
No, that wasn't Lupita. That was Denai Guria.
No, his sister, the scientist.
Oh no, that's not Lupita Nyong'o.
Who's that?
Leticia Wright, I think so.
I have to look that up. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways,
it's a sister. It's Shuri.
Sure, yeah. So enter her. She's like, okay, I can disconnect it, but I need some time.
Yeah.
So she's doing her little medical scientific procedure, and oh, look who shows up outside of Wakanda's borders.
Yep, it's Thanos' children.
Thanos' children with their little army of rabid alien dog monster things.
Which was kind of, I get that's what they had to do to get
exactly
for the Avengers to fight.
Right, but think of it this way: they needed like an army fight scene, because like superheroes and all that stuff, like fighting, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 2-on-3, whatever.
Yeah,
this was like an army fighting. It was all the Wakanda soldiers against the dogs, and then of course, Thanos' children against the Avengers. So it was like a full-on, like, Lord of the Rings-esque battle.
Yeah, army and stuff.
Exactly.
So then T'Challa's like, get this man a shield. And then
they give Captain America a brand new Wakandan shield.
Which was pretty awesome.
That was sick.
I think it worked for what it was. Now, it goes over to Titan. Now they have the Guardians meet up with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man.
And they're trying to figure out a way to
get Gamora back.
Yeah.
So that happens. But at the same time, that's when it shows Thanos on his mission to get the Soul Stone.
Because Gamora tells him where it is eventually, because he was torturing her sister.
Yeah, and then he accesses her memory banks and is like, oh, hey, you're lying to me because I never taught you to do that.
Yeah, I thought you had to fight, not to lie.
Yeah, which was pretty menacing in itself, because he just stands above her. Like,
yeah, because it's like he knows that she's lying the whole time, but he lets her finish.
Yeah.
Which was just like, man, Josh Brolin.
That's
Purple Shrek.
That's villainy right there.
Exactly.
So so that happens, and then he knows where the Soul Stone is. He goes to this place called I forgot what it was.
Yeah. But guess who's there?
It's your boy Hugo Weaving
as the Red Skull.
Actually, it wasn't Hugo Weaving.
It wasn't.
It was some other dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like, who the Red Skull was? Like, oh yeah, it was that villain from the Captain America movie, the first one.
Yep. Exactly. Which blew my mind, because I was like, his whole existence just left my mind. I was like, okay, he probably died.
Yeah.
Because last time we saw him was in 2011.
It was like when the first Avenger came out.
Yeah. Yeah, like 2011.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
He's still around. Okay.
I was like, that was kind of a cool reveal.
Right? Because I saw like, some shadowy, like spirit-esque figure. And I'm like, oh, who's this character? He looks
I thought it was Death.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But then it's like, nope, it's Red Skull.
And I was like, oh.
Nope, it's a Nazi.
It's
a literal Nazi.
In space.
It's a space Nazi.
Nazis in space.
Yep.
They should give him his own movie and call it Nazis in Space.
Yep. And then Thanos says, hey man, where is the Soul Stone? He says, yeah, I know where it is. I couldn't possess it myself. Now I'm just sort of stuck guiding people to a treasure that I can never have.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a Nazi. And Thanos is like, hey man, whoa, all right?
This is 2018
This is 2018, my dude. You can't be talking about being a Nazi and being okay with it, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to extinct half of the universe and everything, but you're a Nazi.
Yeah, that's bad. All right, shame on you.
And then Gamora was like, "Ooh, yeah, man, that's not cool. That's not cool, man." They're just ragging on him the whole time for being a Nazi.
Yeah, about a good 5-minute joke. Just saying.
Yeah, it was just them, and Thanos was like, you need to read my blog about 15 reasons why Nazis are bad.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a repost, but I thought it was really nice.
It was a repost, so I'm not taking the full credit for.
Yeah, but I sort of deleted the author's name from the bottom, but. The point is,
Nazis are bad.
Nazis are bad.
And you're one. How dare you?
Exactly.
And then so Red Skull's like, okay, enough Nazi jokes. The whole thing to get the Soul Stone is like a soul for a soul.
Yes. You got to sacrifice someone that you love.
Yeah. And then at that point, I was like, okay, Thanos is fucked.
Yeah, because he doesn't love anybody. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he's killing everyone. Even Gamora was like, you love nothing. So
Yeah.
I've waited so long to see the day that you just fail.
Yeah, and this is it. This is that moment.
And this is that moment, and I'm happy.
Exactly. And then Thanos starts crying.
And Thanos turns around, and you see him crying, and then you're like, oh shit.
Because it kind of like hints like, what's going to happen.
Yeah. And then that's when Red Skull's like, those tears aren't for the stone.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no.
Because it's like, right. And then he explains.
He actually gives a shit.
Right. Because it was like, that was his more or less daughter. He raised her.
Yep.
And he was crying for her. And he says, I missed opportunity once. I'm not going to let it happen again.
Yeah. Not even for you. And then she was like, oh fuck, he's not playing around. That's when she gets her own knife and tries to kill herself, but Thanos turns it into bubbles
again.
He
likes bubbles for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why he turns into bubbles.
He could have turned it into literally any like goo or like a feather or something.
Yeah,
something non-threatening.
Yeah.
The Batman v Superman collector's edition Blu-ray.
Yeah,
tries to stab herself with it. Like, what is it? I'm trying to stab myself with the trash.
Turns it into Stanley. Hey guys,
me, Stanley. She like drops him.
She gets so scared she falls down.
But,
but in the movie, Thanos grabs Gamora, throws her off the little edge that you have to make a sacrifice to, and Thanos is crying. He's crying the entire time, and then it shows like Gamora laying there dead.
Oh yeah,
with the blood pouring out.
I thought that was her hair, honestly, but no, I might see it again.
It was blood. Look at it.
I might have to see it again. But yeah, so Gamora's dead. She's dead.
That was a death that shocked me.
Yeah,
necessarily. I was like, oh my god, they fucking killed Gamora.
This is like the second in command for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
That's like a Pepper Pot. No, never mind. Who cares about Pepper Pots?
This is kind of like if Thor were to die for like the Avengers.
Yeah, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But
or like Black Widow or whatever.
Well, yeah, but still Black Widow. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Black Widow is important.
Or Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Ooh, he has a secret family.
Yeah.
You need to care about him. But but like the point, so she's dead. He gets transported off the mountain, and what's in his hand? The Soul Stone.
Yep. And he gets transported with the. He immediately just gets thrown off of the mountain.
Yep, and he has the Soul Stone.
He has a Soul Stone. So that's what happens. And then here comes so now he has 4. Yep. He has I forgot all the names of them already. He has the purple one, he has the blue one, he has the red one, and he now has the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
I only remember the Soul Stone because like a soul for a soul.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
Yeah.
And so now he has 4. And then he's like, cool, now I'm going to go to Titan and see if my boy
brought me back the Time Stone.
Yep. And then here comes
Tony Stank and the gang.
Yeah. And they're about to ambush Thanos and stuff, which is honestly my favorite fight in the entire movie.
Yeah, because it was like 5. Wait, it was 5 of them, 6 of them?
There's about like...
It was 3.
Okay, so hold on. It's Doctor Strange, Iron Man,
Spider-Man,
Star-Lord, Drax...
Mantis.
So
yes, it was a 6-on-1.
Yeah,
and they're all just trying to get this gauntlet off of him.
Yeah, and just the whole while that's happening, the whole build up, and Thanos is getting the stone, and then they're coming up with a plan. Is like, all right, we know that Thanos is going to come here because he thinks that his boy is still alive, but he's dead. So we have the Time Stone. So how are we going to get the gauntlet off him while save Doctor Strange? But while Doctor Strange looks into the Time Stone and he's looking at all these different ways, and then Iron Man's like, what just happened? He's like, oh, I looked into the future using the Time Stone and seeing all these different outcomes that could possibly happen. Which right then and there, it kind of showed that Doctor Strange is a huge part within this Infinity War because he knows what's going to happen.
See, but here's one thing that I think we forgot to mention as well, was that when they were going to Titan, with the Time Stone, he made it abundantly clear. He says, my mission in life is to protect the Time Stone. So if it comes down to it, to kill either you or Spider-Man to protect the Time Stone, I will not hesitate.
Or let them die.
If it comes down to letting you 2 die to protect the Time Stone, I will not hesitate to protect the Time Stone. So he established like the Time Stone is his.
That's his baby.
Yeah. And nothing is going to happen to it.
Exactly. So they did a very good job at that, in my opinion. And then so Doctor Strange looks to the future, and he's just like, I looked at like 14,600,000 and something or another ways in which all this will happen. And then Iron Man's like, well, how many ways
did we win?
And he's just like, oh, one.
And he says, never tell me the odds.
And here comes Han Solo. It's like, hey guys, I'm still alive.
Hey,
it's your boy Harrison.
I just got poked in the belly and fell down a really big hole, but hey, here I am.
And disintegrated on a exploding planet.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, Han Solo's dead.
He's dead.
I don't know why people say that he's still alive.
He's not.
He's fucking dead. Okay, so now comes Thanos arriving on Titan, right? And they do a good job at jumping back and forth between Wakanda and Titan, because now Thanos' children are trying to get to the Vision, and while all that's happening, Thor is getting his new hammer.
All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and pause and say that there were like 4 or 5 side stories going on this whole movie.
Yeah, and
there were a lot, but never once did I ever feel bored or like, where am I? What are we doing?
Yeah, like everybody is doing something.
Like everybody's doing something. It all makes sense. It's all very coherent.
Yeah.
And it would, like, any other movie that were to try that, I'd be lost. I'd be lost as shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
that's what 19 movies does. Like that's the payoff.
Exactly.
And
so sorry, getting back to Thor.
Yeah, so Thor's getting his new hammer, right? And then he goes up to Peter Dinklage.
He's getting an axe.
Yeah, he's getting an axe, and even though he has this mission where he's just like, well, I've lost everything on it right now, so if I die trying to get this hammer, then there's really nothing else I can lose. And it kind of makes Thor into a very sad, tragic character,
because he lost everything that he loved, like literally every single thing that he loved.
Everything is gone. There's
planet,
nothing.
His planet, his dad, his brother, his half sister,
his mom,
yeah, everything.
His best friend. They're all dead.
Yeah, they're all. So it's just him.
Yeah, as far as he's concerned, the Hulk is probably dead.
Yeah,
he doesn't know yet. And then so that's what he was explaining. That was one of my favorite scenes too, when Thor's just like, well, yeah, the anger, frustration, all this vengeance and stuff. They're very good motivators.
Yeah.
That it helps clear the mind and stuff. And then it kind of takes a moment where he just kind of looks away and just kind of wipes a tear away from his eyeball, and I was just from the only eyeball that he has.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want Thor to succeed. They establish it very well that even though he does lose everything, he's just like,
he's still fighting.
Yeah, he's still fighting on. Even when he gets to the Peter Dinklage character on the Nidavellir, I actually remember that.
How the hell do you remember that?
Because it's just a fun word to say.
All right. So a little bit of context for that. They're going to a mythical space forge where they make all the weapons for the gods. That's apparently...
That's where Thor's hammer came from.
Right, that's where Thor's hammer came from. It's of legend. And these dwarves are apparently like legends in making like the best weapons in the galaxy.
Yeah.
So that's where they're at.
Yeah. So they go there and then it's empty. And then that enters Peter Dinklage as a giant dwarf.
Which was hilarious to me. I was like, that's Peter Dinklage, but he's taller than anyone else. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
And then even Peter Dinklage is like, yeah, what happened? Asgard was supposed to protect us. What happened? And Thor's like, yeah, Asgard kind of got destroyed.
Yeah, haven't you seen, did you see the last movie?
Yeah. I don't think you've seen the last movie. So.
He's like, no, I stopped. He's like, I didn't much care for Dark World. I stopped watching after that. Says Peter Dinklage.
But now here I am in Infinity War trying to catch up with everything, and I don't understand it.
He's like, I don't understand anything.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to say this movie is bad.
You know what? That's the equivalent of not paying attention in the beginning of a movie and then saying later on, what's going on? Who is this character? This movie's bad.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a lot bigger scale than that.
Yeah, and this movie is a lot.
Exactly.
But the way they do it is just mwah, super good. And then and then Thor's just like, yeah, I need you to make me a new hammer because, you made him the Infinity Gauntlet, and he did kind of kill your entire civilization too, so it's just you. But he's just like, even though he also took away your hands because they turned him into stone or whatever.
Yeah, like dipped him in iron or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's like, oh, but together though, we can make this happen. We can make this hammer and we can kill Thanos. And that's enough for Peter Dinklage to be like, all right, well,
What the hell?
what the hell? So then they have this whole thing where Thor is gonna get the new hammer, and he even survives a full-on blast of a star.
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
Yeah, which was really cool because at that point you're just like, oh my god, Thor's just
Getting dusted.
he's getting just trash, and you want him to live so he can get that hammer and everything. So he eventually gets it, and then goes back to Battle of Wakanda. You know,
Oh, that entrance though.
Wakanda forever, and then they just start charging. And you're like, oh my god.
Yep, and
Yep.
I think that was in the previews.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah, just that battle cry. Everyone with all the Wakandans are just fucking fighting, and it's just, oh my god.
Well, what got me pumped was when he does like that war chant.
Yes.
With all of his army lined up and stuff.
Yep.
And then
Oh, and then he sees M'Baku.
Yeah.
God, I keep fucking up his name, but that really buff guy.
yeah, M'Baku.
M'Baku. That
Yeah.
really buff guy, and he's like, brother, and they're buddies
Yeah,
now. It's like,
they're-
oh
they're
yes,
friends.
that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he's just like, well, thank you for standing with us. And
Yes.
he's just like, yeah, because existence is gonna already die, so why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Die fighting.
Why not fight with your bitch ass? Hey, got him.
He's like, unless you want to fight for king again. No,
No,
I'm good.
not right now. That's okay.
No. But then, yeah, and then there's the whole Wakanda forever, and then they start charging towards the force field, in which they conveniently left open for the aliens because they're like, oh yeah, it's circling around the entire Wakandan perimeter.
If they get in anywhere else and they're dead, let's just focus them right here so
Yep.
that we can all focus on.
Yeah, let's focus.
Smart.
Save the civilians, and then T'Challa's like, fuck, we're just gonna have to open one section.
Yeah.
Let's keep them in front. And then that ended up working, and they all
Yeah.
that's when they all start charging towards aliens and stuff. And Captain America has his shine. T'Challa has his shine. Everybody has like their moment of shine. Which was another thing that Avengers did really well.
But then it started to turn a little bit.
Yeah, that they start losing.
Yeah, they started losing. They're like, oh shit, what's gonna? Because like Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
he's in it, and they start tearing it apart.
Yeah, and the very cliche. There's too many of them, and then something happens for that to turn back around.
And then yo boy.
Well, then it goes back to Thor. He's already like dusted from the blast of a star.
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter Dinklage gets like the axe that's already formed, and he's like, where's the handle? And that's when Groot
makes the handle out of his arm.
Chops it off. And then it goes back to Wakanda. And then does the whole like vortex thing that just the Heimdall teleportation thing. And then here comes the hammer. Voom, 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 voom. Boink.
Just nailing everybody, just wiping people out left and right. Like Thor's back to his old ass god glory. Like he's a god.
Yeah, and now he has the original suit on with the cape and everything.
Thunder flying everywhere.
And then it comes Rocket and Groot into the whole mix. And
and they're all fighting.
Yeah, and then even Bruce Banner's like, oh, you guys are all screwed now.
That's right.
And then I was like, oh, what a great entrance. That was a moment that kind of gave me like goosebumps. I was like, oh, that
they did that scene very, very well. It got you pumped. It kept you pumped. And then just when you thought you couldn't get any more pumped, it's like, guess what, fuckers? Here's Iron Man. Here's Thor. Here's Thor.
Yeah. And then Thor enters the battle.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because even the face on Captain America, he hasn't seen him since Age of Ultron. So it's been 3 years.
That's right. And then they catch eyes.
Yeah, they catch eyes, and then they're like, oh, you got a new haircut. I see you copied my beard. So it's like it's still lighthearted and jokey, but it works.
Exactly.
That's the thing. And so Thor's entered the battle, a huge advantage now. Now that he's got a new axe, and it does some heavy damage.
Exactly. It's very OP.
Yeah, and super cool. Now also Rocket and Groot enter the battle too.
Yeah, and they're just doing their thing. Rocket shooting shit. Groot is skewering people with his arm and smacking them around with tree branches.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which I just heard the other day that what was it? James Gunn who directed the first one, right?
Yeah.
He confirmed that Groot was dead. Groot 1 is dead.
Oh yeah, the original Groot's that was his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like fucking confirmed it.
Yeah,
no, Groot's dead.
Yeah, the original Groot's dead, but his son That's
yeah.
him.
So basically, this Groot that we're all talking about is Groot Jr. That's his son. The first Groot's dead.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, side note.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting little thing that they did. So so now Thor enters the battle, then goes back to Titan. Now Thanos arrives in Titan, and he's like, okay, where's Squidward? And Doctor Strange is like, oh yeah, we took care of him.
Oh yeah,
he's fucking dead. So then and then Thanos is like, do you know what this place is? And he's like, let me guess, your home planet. He's like, yeah. When it used to be like most planets, it has like a
overpopulation problem.
Yeah, and then so I offered them a solution. It was whatever, but once we came to facing extinction, they fucking died. So it became my goal to do that for the rest of the universe and make them, show them mercy.
Yeah.
While I provide them all these benefits, but at the same time
murdering half the thing.
Yeah, at a small price, as what he looked at it as. So Thanos already has 4 Infinity Stones. And so now it's up to the Guardians, what's left of them, and then Iron Man and the some of the Avengers to stop Thanos from getting the Time Stone. So now they have this huge fight. Again, my favorite fight in the entire movie was the one on Titan.
He threw a moon at him.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. 'Cause that was crazy. And so protect the Time Stone at all costs. So they had this idea of getting the gauntlet out of his hand, and so that's when it gets into a long, lengthy fight, and then they got Thanos right where they want him.
Yeah, so, like Mantis puts him to sleep. Yeah, or kind of like makes him sleepy.
Yeah, Doctor Strange does one of his mystic arts, puts on his hand, and then Spider-Man grasps onto his hand, and Iron Man, they're all teaming up to just hold him in one place.
So they can get the gauntlet off of his hand.
Yeah. Drax is going for the legs, so he'll be weak in the legs. And it's a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
And then, so now the Iron Man and Spider-Man, they're trying to get the gauntlet off, and Star-Lord, I thought he was kind of dumb in this situation where he was like, oh yeah, this is my plan and stuff like that. And while Mantis is like going into his memory bank, and he's just like, oh yeah, he's in pain and he's mourning and stuff. And then that Nebula shows up at the time, which is kind of a lame entrance, but we're not really going to cover that much. But Nebula points out, is like, oh yeah, he went to go after the Soul Stone
with Gamora and did not come back with Gamora.
Yeah, and then that's when Star-Lord realizes, like, oh shit, Gamora is dead, and then he starts beating the shit out of Thanos.
Yeah, which kind of wakes him up from his little Mantis days.
Yeah, it wakes him up, and then even Iron Man's like, we almost got this thing off, just keep your cool.
Yeah.
And
honestly, if he had just waited,
I'm gonna use an analogy. It's like, it sucks. Yeah, I get it that your loved one is dead, but I'm gonna use like kind of an analogy. It's like with baseball. Like if you get a ball hit towards you, and if you're in the infield and you get hit in the face during that play, you make the play first,
and then you go down and whine about it afterwards.
Yeah, go down and whine after. So the whole play was getting Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep.
Okay, I get it. It was abundantly clear that that's what they were doing. But Star-Lord decided to go crazy during the play, and that's what jeopardized everybody. Just because, I get it. He loves Gamora, and that's his loved one. I probably wouldn't know.
But if he had just waited...
Yeah, if he just waited just a little bit longer.
He would have been able to do all that. Minus Thanos having a gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. So Thanos wakes up, and then he starts kicking the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, because he kind of they literally had it off of his hand at a certain point. Yeah, and then he reached forward, grabbed it, and then put it back on.
Yep.
So they had it off of him.
Yep. And everybody has their turn. Like Doctor Strange has a one-on-one with Thanos, which was pretty dang cool.
Yeah, because like all the cool like weird trippy effects they did in Doctor Strange movie, I was like, man, that was cool.
Yeah, it shows Doctor Strange as a force to be reckoned with too, because he's fighting against Thanos with 4 Infinity Stones.
Yep,
and he's holding up.
Yep, and he does that Naruto fucking clone thing where he makes a bunch of Narutos.
He does the shadow clone jutsu.
That's what it was.
And then he starts wrecking shit, and then he goes on a one-on-one with Iron Man. And which was very deservingly so, because this is like, this is the original Avenger.
Yeah, this is the Godfather.
Yeah, this is the Godfather of Marvel right now. So he deserves a one-on-one with Thanos.
Yeah.
So then he
and he was holding his own for a while too.
Yeah, he was. The Iron Man was kicking the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he raised his fucking glove, clenches it, and you see the moon in the back just crumble. And my jaw dropped when I first saw that. I was like, oh, it's like this is like Sephiroth's meteor shower in Final Fantasy VII. He just gets control of a planet and just hurls it at you. And it was scary. Even Iron Man, he just the way he looks up at the moon crumbling, he was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And then he starts hurling all this stuff towards Iron Man. He actually knocks out all the Guardians, and then Star-Lord is down, Drax is down, Mantis is down. Just one swift swoop of the Power Stone. Oh, okay, I remember that one. The Power Stone, the purple one.
Yeah.
So it kind of does like a whole body shutdown. So they're out of the picture. So then, now it's after he hurls the moon out, that's what kind of makes the gravitational level on the planet kind of rise up a little bit. And then Spider-Man saves the rest of the Guardians from like falling to their deaths.
Yeah.
And then now Iron Man still has a one-on-one with Thanos. Actually gets a good punch to the face, and then he has like,
oh yeah, he actually cuts him a bit.
It cuts him a bit, and even Thanos is like, all that for a drop of blood, and then starts beating the shit out of Iron Man.
Stabs him.
And that was a moment I was like, oh my god.
I thought he was gonna die at that point.
I thought he was gonna die. And then he was telling Stark, he's like, oh, once I wipe out half of the existence, I respect you, Stark. And once I do that, I hope they remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it was like, you are a formidable foe. Thank you for
thanks for that fight.
Yeah.
And he just right when he was about to kill Iron Man, because he was close.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is like, wait, gives him the time stone, gives it to Thanos, and Iron Man's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange's like, we're in the end game now.
Yeah.
And then the Guardians wake up from their sleep, and then they're like, did we just lose? And then they're all, the Guardians and some of the Avengers, they're just like, yeah,
we lost.
Now it goes back to Wakanda.
Yep.
And eventually Scarlet Witch gets involved in the fight, and Vision gets involved with the fight. They kill the rest of the Thanos' children.
Yeah, the Koopa clan.
Yeah, the cool Koopa clan.
The cool Koopa clan from the old Mario games.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Oh, even though we're just talking about Nazis and stuff.
Oh boy.
Okay, and then then it gets to a point where now that Thanos has 5 of them, he transports to Wakanda, and they're at the end of the fight now. And Vision was telling Scarlet Witch, like, I need you to kill me.
Yeah, I need you to destroy this thing in my head that will in turn kill me. And she's, no, I can't do it. No, I'm an Olsen twin triplet. I can't.
I can't. It's like, yes, you can. And then she actually does it.
Yeah.
While Thanos is just ripping through everybody.
Yeah.
Just kicking the shit out of everybody.
But there was that one scene where they're all trying to buy time to get Scarlet Witch to kill the Vision.
Yeah.
Where Captain America is like holds the glove.
Yeah.
Holds the gauntlet of Thanos from the preview. And like even Thanos is like,
oh shit.
This guy's kind of strong. But then that's what I like about Captain America, is that like they all knew they're gonna get their shit pushed in, but he's still sitting there fighting.
Yeah.
And he's fighting his damnedest.
Yeah.
That was a pretty powerful scene.
He actually gets up like twice after getting knocked down, and then he gets up, and then he gets knocked, and then he gets up again, and then he goes after Thanos. And I was like, dude, this guy is fucking.
He doesn't quit.
He doesn't quit, and I love it.
Yeah.
And then so Scarlet Witch starts doing her little powers against the Vision, and then eventually
she destroys it.
Yeah, she destroys it, kills him dead.
Yep.
And then so she's crying. She just killed her lover, her boyfriend. Now at this point, she's kind of a tragic character too, because she lost her parents.
She lost her brother. Quicksilver.
Yeah, and now she lost her love. There's like nothing for
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver was her brother.
Yeah. No. Oh, never mind. I think I'm the Silver Surfer. Never mind. Different character.
No, Quicksilver. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Quicksilver died. It was her brother, and now her boyfriend, her artificial boyfriend.
Yeah. her what was the name of that his girlfriend in Blade Runner?
Rachel.
Yeah,
Yeah, her Rachel.
her Rachel
had to fucking kill her. had to kill Vision, right? And then so she's breaking down, she's crying, and Thanos is like, "Yeah, I understand, my child. You know, I lost more than you could ever imagine and stuff. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's been a loss-filled day for me.
Yeah, trust me, all right?
Yeah.
But this is looks at the camera. This is no time to mourn. Dun, 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 dun. Uses the time stone, reverses back time, brings back Vision, is like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" He's like, "You just died, but I'm going to take that from your head." Yoink.
Just go ahead and take that out. Rips it out of his head. Vision's dead.
Dead again.
He dies twice.
Yep. So now he gets all the Infinity Stones.
And your boy is powerful. He's like, it's about goddamn time.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it feels good to get all this infinity."
It feels so good to be so bad.
Yeah. Breaks out into a musical number and starts singing and dancing.
Hell yeah.
I would love to see that in the next one. Just
have it be a musical?
Yeah, the Avengers musical. It's bound to happen. Just watch in Broadway.
Oh, I'm sure. They already have a SpongeBob one, which we listened to the songs for it.
That was awful.
It was pretty. You know what? If you're a Broadway, I wouldn't say nerd, but if you partake in Broadway in the musicals, can you explain? I'm genuinely curious. What do you see in some of those Broadway plays that makes it entertaining? I've tried listening to Les Mis. I tried listening to that SpongeBob one.
Les Mis is fucking terrible.
It's just, I don't understand. I don't get it. And I want to get it because it's whatever. But anyways, we're getting back. We're
getting off topic for an Infinity War. So he gets all the stones, and that's when Thor comes in with his new axe.
Chucks it at him.
And even Thanos uses all 6 of the stones' power, and the axe is still cutting through all the power. So you're like, holy shit, his new toy is powerful. And so it gets him in the chest.
Yeah, hits him right in the chest. And then Iron, god damn it, keep calling him Iron Man. Thor comes up and says, "I told you I would kill you for killing Loki in the beginning."
Shoves the axe further into his chest.
Pushing it into it. It's like it's slowly, and like you hear it going into his chest.
Into his rib cage, and it's just cracking. And then he's just like, "Oh, you should have aimed for the head." Snaps his fingers.
And then it's a cut, and it's just him sitting in this lake, or like a body of water, with a little baby Gamora, or like a little girl Gamora from when he first got her.
Yeah.
She turns around and looks at him.
So you did it, huh?
You did it, huh? And he says, "Yes." Was it all worth it?
Well, she was like, "What did it cost?"
Oh yeah, that's right. What did it cost?
And he's like, "Everything." And she's like, "Was it worth it?" And it just fades out, and then it gets a cut to the Infinity Gauntlet,
and it's trashed.
It's toast.
Yeah.
And even Thor's just like, "What do you do? What did you do?"
Yeah.
And then that's when he just transported out of there.
Yeah. So Thanos is gone. Everyone's like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah. Even Captain America's like, "Where'd he go?"
And then Bucky says, "Oh, my heart."
This was when the memes started.
This is when the memes started happening.
Yeah. First it was Bucky.
It was Bucky.
Yeah, and then he was just like, "Steve," and then he just crumbles into like ash.
Crumbles into dust.
Yeah, and then Captain America goes up. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then it goes over to T'Challa.
Yep.
And then he goes up to Okoye, and he's like, "Up, Okoye. This is no place to die."
And he's smiling.
Yeah.
Picking her up. And the look on her face was like panic.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, my king just died.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Rocket and Groot. Groot's fading away slowly.
Oh, and then Rocket's watching it.
Yeah, and then Rocket's like, "Oh no, Groot, no." And then he just floats away. And then it goes over to Falcon. Then he drifts away, and then Don Cheadle's looking for him. It's like, "Sam, where are you?" And then shows to Scarlet Witch.
Yep, and then she fades.
She drifts.
Yeah.
And so, all the original Avengers are still there. Captain America, Thor,
Iron Man,
Hulk. We're talking like on Earth.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then War Machine is still there.
Wait, I thought Don Cheadle faded.
No, Don Cheadle. It was actually the Falcon that faded.
Right.
And then Rocket was still there. And then they're like, "What just happened?" And then Steve Rogers is like, "Oh my god,
he did it.
He did it." And then it cuts over to Titan. And that's when the real real tearjerkers started happening. And then Mantis is like, "Something is happening. and then she just drifts off.
I sense a disturbance in the force, like
Yeah.
like a million souls screamed out all at once in terror, and were suddenly silenced.
Yep. And then she just drifts.
Mantis
drifts, and then shows over to Drax. He's like, Quill, and then he drifts off, and then here Quill's looking around everybody. He's like, oh man, and then he just drifts.
Like he knows.
Yeah. And then Iron Man looks at Doctor Strange and is just like, what the fuck's going on? And then Doctor Strange is like, there's no other way.
So
yeah,
kind of insinuating that of the million and whatever ways that he saw beating Thanos, this was the way to do it.
Yeah, that they had to die at some point.
Yeah.
So then after Doctor Strange, like, there was no other way. That's when he drifts off. Doctor Strange dies. And then
the absolute saddest one.
The worst one that almost put me to tears.
Yep.
Was when Spider-Man's like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And then
you knew.
And that he starts drifting off slowly, and then you're like, no.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's dying. Then
he's just a boy.
He's just a boy. Poor little fella. And then he just goes up to Iron Man. He's like, I don't want to go. Mr. Stark. I don't want to go.
He's like begging and pleading for, like, please, Tony, help me, please. And then Tony's just
like,
he's just silent. He just holds him.
Yeah.
Like his little baby boy.
Yeah, that was like his kid.
Yeah, I know.
He watched his kid die
in his arms.
Yep. And then so Iron Man looks around and he's with Nebula. He's like, fuck, I'm only with this other Guardian that no one really cares about. Damn it. So the Avengers lost.
And they lost hard.
They lost hard. Almost half of them just die.
Yeah.
Which, in my personal opinion, I think it would have been more of an impact if at least one of the original Avengers were to drift off, because all of them are still alive.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow, as far as we know, Hawkeye, Hulk is still alive, Thor's still alive, Captain's still alive, Iron Man's still alive. So of those original 6, they're still around.
Right. If one of them were to die, I think that would have been a lot. Dude, could you imagine? Like, people were flipping their shit on like the B list. Avengers.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the first string, one of them died, or 2 of them died,
or if Cap died, if he just drifted off, and you're just like, oh my, that would have been just horrible. So Tony Stark is left stranded on Titan.
The Avengers on Earth are left scattered and broken.
Yeah, because they just fucking lost.
Cut to Thanos
in his little vacation home.
Yeah, so it shows him in this nice little cottage overlooking a lake.
Yeah,
and he just kind of looks out over the sunset.
As he said earlier in the movie, he's like, what would happen if you did that? It's like, oh, I'll just look over the sunset and look at a better universe.
Yeah, and rest.
Yeah, and rest. Yep. And that's exactly what he does.
Yep.
After a hard day's work.
Cracks open a cold one with the boys.
And then watches all these dank memes videos, and then just relaxes.
Yep.
And that's how the movie ends. Cut to black.
Now, what they did with the end credits was beautiful, I think, because normally in any other Avengers movie, it would be like some cool montage of like when they would show
heroes won,
like the heroic music and the cool stuff in the background, like kind of like the events of the movie going on, like as the credits roll and swoosh by you.
Yeah.
Or like, what was it in the first Avengers? It was like, oh, Captain America, they show a shield. Oh, Chris Evans.
Yeah, and then they show like Iron Man's
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And then like the Thor hammer and the armor and shit,
and the lightning, and then
Chris Hemsworth
is Thor. And then,
yeah. It's like cool and exciting,
like a giant green fist. Mark Ruffalo,
and the Hulk.
Yeah,
like stuff like that. It's like, oh, cool. And the movie, this was just a black screen with silent, somber music
with white font,
with white font in the middle of the screen. It was
name.
Just a name.
Yep. Boom. Name. Chris Evans. Black. Rob Downey Jr. Black.
Chris Evans.
Chris Hemsworth is black. Mark Ruffalo black. And you're just like, oh my god,
what the hell?
They're just gonna end the movie like that.
And then it shows the movie title.
Yeah.
And then the movie title just fades.
Yep. Even through the end credits, it was just like somber music.
Now,
it was just sad.
At what other point in your life can you remember a movie theater being that quiet after a movie?
Yeah, it was I was there opening night, like the very first showing at Downtown Disney. So there's a lot of fans there.
Yeah.
And even those people were quiet as can be. They're just like,
what did I just see?
What just happened?
The heroes lost.
The heroes lost, and they lost hard. And I love that Marvel
went there.
Yeah, they went there. And yeah, after the credits roll by, of course you're gonna stick to the end credits.
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah, like at this point it's established.
Yeah,
like you have to.
So then,
which might I add is I think is smart on Marvel's part, because a lot of people do a lot of really hard work in that, and I think that it was their way of sort of showing like, hey, we appreciate these people. Let's make people stick through the credits and see who worked on this movie and give them a little reward afterwards for doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. I'm glad
they do a little treat.
I'm glad they do the end credits. So then, end credit scene. Enter Agent what's Maria Hill, I think that's her name.
Yeah, and Nick Fury.
So they're driving. They're like, oh, have you contacted so and so? I forgot what they were talking about. Then the car in front of them just makes a complete halt and just crashes.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck's going on? And then they start seeing people drift. Just random civilians. They start drifting. Even a helicopter in the sky just crashes into a building.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, pilot just drifted, and then pilot just crashes into a building. And then it wasn't until Nick Fury looks at Maria Hill. She drifts, and she's like, Nick, what the fuck's going on? And she's gone.
Yep.
And Nick's like, okay, I need to go to my bag real quick.
And then he pulls out this old little pager, starts punching shit in.
And then he starts shifting. He's like, motherfucker. And then it just takes...
I'm like, nice.
Which was brilliant.
Because it's like, come on, who doesn't know Samuel L. Jackson for saying the phrase motherfucker?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, he's famous for that.
Exactly. But the fact that they put it in a Marvel movie, a more or less kids movie.
Yeah.
Was this rated PG-13 or?
It was PG-13.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's still a kids movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, still kids.
But yeah, so they put that in there. Pager drops to the ground because he got drifted.
Yeah.
And had like a little like loading, sending, dot, and then the screen pops up with the Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel symbol with the little blue and red lines from top to bottom.
And that's where it ends.
Yep. And then it says Thanos will return. Not the Avengers or the Guardians.
Just Thanos.
Thanos will return. Because I think at that point, that's when Marvel knew, like, oh yeah, this is Thanos' movie.
And it was absolutely Thanos' movie.
Yeah. And show like he was, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but more or less like a villain that you can get behind and understand like his motives.
They weren't right motives, but I understood like his means for accomplishing those motives weren't right, but I understood where he was coming from. He's like, people are suffering. There's not enough resources in the universe to go around. There's an overpopulation. We need to get rid of a lot of this population so the ones that are left can thrive.
Yeah.
And like even when he was talking about his old homeworld Titan, he said, it wasn't anything like, oh, we just killed the poor people. It was like rich, poor, it didn't matter. It was a lottery. It was random.
Yeah.
So it was fair. It was the most fair that anyone could ever be.
Yeah. Which, I like that. I like that about Thanos and his villainy. And just whooped on the Avengers. They lost, and that's how the movie ends. And they're going to bring in Captain Marvel in the next one.
Yeah.
So,
but they're going to do some origin story on her first.
Yeah, because no one really knows who Captain Marvel is.
I didn't know who Captain Marvel was until people started mentioning her. Like, oh, dude, she's coming in. I'm like, who the fuck? Who?
Yeah. And then, but I can see, like, later down the line, she's going to be pretty iconic.
I think so.
The way that Marvel, if Marvel keeps doing the things that they're doing, they're going to turn Captain Marvel into someone that people give a shit about, like Black Panther.
Yeah.
People give a shit about Black Panther.
Because honestly, like, they have some female heroes in Marvel.
Yeah.
But they're kind of few and far between. They're not like a Wonder Woman. From what I understand about Captain Marvel, she is like a fucking superhero. She's the superest of heroes.
She's like a god.
Yeah.
Like she's that powerful.
Exactly. So to have a female superhero be that powerful, I feel like would do really well. Not for the like, oh, hey, look at that female, but just like, I think the way that Marvel writes their characters into different movies and stories, I think it'll work and it'll be well received.
Yeah, and you'll actually give a shit about it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So yeah, that was
the movie. Thanks for sticking around and listening to us basically recap the whole fucking movie.
We basically talked about the entire movie and like its plot lines, and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna be in part 2, because everyone knew this was gonna be a part 1 of 2.
Exactly.
And what I can theorize what's gonna happen is I think they may do some time traveling.
They might, but
Yeah.
I don't
know how
I'm
they're
not sure
gonna
how
do
they're gonna do it because I think all of the Infinity Stones are destroyed at this point.
Probably.
I think.
Yeah. But wow. I don't know where they're gonna take it. Even though a lot of people are theorizing that like, oh, they're gonna bring in like Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and Hawkeye, the game changers of
and Adam Warlock.
Yeah, and they're gonna change all the bad things and then turn into good once again. And then I just want in the next one, I just want everybody involved in one shot. Like, you remember in the original Avengers where they had that one circle shot
where it had like all six? Yeah,
all 6 of them, and you're just like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Thor like holding his hammer, all thing, you know, Captain America looking around all heroic,
and
Black Widow reloading a gun, Hawkeye readying his bow. It's just like, oh, look at these fucking heroes, look at them doing badass shit.
Hulk is yelling, he's angry, and then while that's happening, Iron Man's hovering down.
I was just like,
that's so cool.
This is the shot right here.
I want a shot like that, but
with everyone,
with everybody, because we know that they're not really dead.
Yeah,
they're gonna bring him back because Black Panther.
It made him too much money for them not to.
Yeah, and you know it made black people hate white people even more. But he's sticking around in Marvel. That's like the point. He made them billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. There's no way he's gone. Spider-Man. There's no way he's gone.
Yeah.
They're not going to end his story that way. There's
only one Spider-Man movie in that particular universe.
Yeah,
because they scrapped the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's no longer being continued.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I hated the Andrew Garfield one.
Everyone did.
Yeah, but yeah, that was basically our recap of the entire.
Yeah, thanks for sticking. Yeah, Jesus.
It was a long episode, but definitely a worthy episode in my opinion, because you know this is a movie to talk about.
This is a cultural event, I think. Because think about it, like what says American culture more than cinema? What is it that America has over the rest of the world? Fucking film,
football.
Well, I'm talking about culturally. All right, football, sure, but film. Like, what is the most, you know, like China, for example, they partake in American film. India, they fucking love American film. That's why they created their own little Bollywood thing, because they just wanted to copy what we were doing. You know what I mean? Like
Bollywood.
everyone loves, you know, American film, and this is like the pinnacle of it. Yeah, okay, it's like people call it, oh, it's a cookie cutter, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
this was a feat that's never been done before. Multiple movies, spanning years and years and years, leading up to this one event.
Yep,
it's never been done before, and I think that Marvel, Disney, Chef. What's his?
John Favreau.
John Favreau as Chef. They need the recognition that they pulled it off.
Yep.
When everyone said that this is a fucking retarded idea, let's not do this. Mm-hmm. What are you, a bunch of faggots?
And then they're just like, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
We have an idea, and
we're not homosexual. We have an idea.
No, we're not. We're pretty straight and white. Like,
yeah. So let's go out there and create the best films that anyone's ever seen.
And god damn it, Marvel pulled it off.
They did. And you know what? I thought it was impressive when they pulled it off with the Avengers, 5 movies. Yeah. This is like 19 movies or some shit. 19 full feature-length films.
This is like a span of like 30, probably like 40 hours.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine watching a Marvel? That would span days, literally.
I can't do that.
Yeah, and I know that you and Dad went to the Star Wars thing when The Force Awakens came out.
Even that in itself was pretty hard. It's like, okay, we're gonna see one movie, 15-minute break. All right, go to the restroom and get a snack. All right, next movie, 15-minute break. Next movie. After that trilogy's done, all right, you're gonna have an hour and a half break. Go and get yourself something to eat. Rest a little bit. Okay, now go back and watch a new trilogy.
It was break. It was like a chore at a certain point.
Yeah, but it's kind of good because I'm kind of glad I did, because this was like the return to Star Wars. You know, I'm glad that
for a new generation.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, once The Force Awakens finally came on for the first time, and everyone was fully awake at that point. There's like, oh shit, and like everybody, we all stunk, we all smelled like garbage, but goddamn, we did it, and paid off. And but for a Marvel film marathon,
that's a bit much.
That's a bit much for my taste. But that's enough of that. I guess we can get into our ratings. What would you rate this new Avengers movie out of 10? Out of 10 drifting Spider-Mans.
10 drifting Spider-Mans out of 10. Let's see. I would give it 7.5, maybe 8 drifting Spider-Mans out of 10 drifting Spider-Mans. 10 dead Spider-Mans.
7.5 out of 10 dead Spider-Mans.
That's right.
All right. I would actually say that too. Like 7.5.
Yeah, it wasn't by any means a perfect movie, but goddamn was I not entertained. Like it was.
Yeah.
My God, I was so like never bored.
Yeah, it was a theater experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 7.5 for both of us. And that's basically it. So hopefully by the next year, we're going to get the new Avengers movie. We can come back to this podcast and we can talk about that movie in
then make it
detail.
And make it a 2-hour long, 3-hour long podcast.
Talking about
both movies and give the recap for both movies. Oh,
Jesus
boy.
Christ.
No, we won't do that to you.
Yeah, no. Like an hour and a half of movie discussions.
I think it's about enough.
That's about enough. But 7.5 fading Spider-Mans out of 10 that we both give the movie, and Marvel's still killing it. They're still breaking box office records. They actually got the highest opening of all time. They beat The Force Awakens on that, which is incredible to me.
Yep.
And just shows that Marvel is the next Star Wars, and they're going to continue dominating the box office. They keep doing what they're doing, while other movie companies are just going to scramble.
Are just playing catch up, and they're doing it badly.
Yeah. Yes, every single one of them. DC.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I can't stand Justice League.
It's bad. It's shoddily put together. That whole universe is very shoddily put together.
Yeah, it's awful.
It reminds me of like a report that a student put together the night before it was due because their teacher reminded them, said, "Hey, we have a report due tomorrow."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh shit,
that's right about that. Okay."
And then the teacher gives a bad grade and is like,
"Well, I did the report."
And it's like, "No, you did it horribly.
You did it very badly."
Only thing that worked out for it was Wonder Woman. They took a chance and it worked. It did. But then Marvel's seeing it. It's like, okay, we'll do it, but we'll do it even better because we have a universe that people give a shit about.
Yeah, exactly. People care about these characters.
Yeah, so
like, I never thought in my wildest dreams I would ever say like I would know who Drax the Destroyer is and care about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Or who Rocket fucking Raccoon is, or who Scarlet Groot or Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Or
you care about these characters.
Yeah.
Or even say to yourselves like, wow, I can't wait for a Captain Marvel movie now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how she gets involved.
Yeah.
Or what her story is.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
That's going to come out next February on International Women's Day or something.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious.
Wow, that's smart. That is smart as shit. Oh my God.
Marvel knows what they're doing.
Marvel, stop. Stop. They're dead. All right. You don't need to keep beating the dead horse.
And Black Panther came out on Black History Month.
Holy shit, it did.
Yep.
Oh my God. Dude.
Marvel, dude, they know what they're fucking doing. So, yeah, I'm going to be there day one when, first we're going to get Ant-Man. I'm going to see Ant-Man, see what his adventures are.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's fun.
Yeah. So we're going to see that in a couple months. We're going to talk about it. Probably not into complete detail like this one, but Captain Marvel we're definitely going to see. But then all these movies are basically lead up to part 2 of Infinity War.
The next one, which I'm excited to see where it goes after that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how Marvel gets them. We're going to make a part 1. Everyone just left like, oh, fuck. What's going to happen in the next one?
Yep.
Now they're going to be forced to watch part 2.
At this point, it's like, it's not even like I want to go see it. It's just like, I need to know what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not I want to know what happens. I need to know what happens at the end of this.
Yeah, I need to know what happens.
Yeah, and even people who don't even like those movies, they're going to go see it because it's like, I just need to know.
Yeah, I need to rip on Marvel even more and talk about how I haven't caught up on the 20-plus movies.
Exactly, and why it's Marvel's fault that I haven't seen these movies and why I think the movie itself is bad.
it's factory filmmaking. It's like, well, it is filmmaking nonetheless. So no matter the way, what angle you look at it, it is still filmmaking.
Yeah.
Even though there are special effects and stuff like that, there is creative teams behind this.
Yes.
So let's get people to understand that. But yeah, we're gonna close out. So
let's wrap it up. We're getting to the 2-hour-ish mark.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up and say thank you very much for listening to our spoiler discussion for Avengers: Infinity War.
Spoilers.
Tons of spoilers. 7.5 dead Spider-Mans out of 10.
That's right.
So again, guys, we thank you very much on this very long episode of Arratikast. And do you have any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Nope. I have nothing else to say except
because we've already talked for almost 2 hours now, so I think any point we needed to make has already been made.
Yeah, exactly. I plan to see it again, Infinity War.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Yeah, and then that would be my 4th time, and then I'll be completely done with the movie. I'm like,
at least until it hits $2 theater.
Yeah, it's $2, and then I'm down.
Yeah, let's go see it.
Yeah, let's go see it. All right, guys. Well, we thank you very much on you guys joining on this episode, and see you guys next week on whatever we're going to talk about. It's going to happen in the news.
We don't know. We don't have the time stone. So we'll figure it out.
There's millions of ways that
it can go down. Yeah, and only one of the ways will be good. Will it be one of those ways? We don't know.
Exactly. So we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.